The National Radio Service has issued a severe podcast warning for speakers in your area. This includes, but does not limit to, the listeners from Facebook, YouTube, and online streaming from a webpage. The Gorelniks are the cause of the weather pattern, and this includes Adam, Justin, Jason, Brian. The National Radio Service custodial members detected an hour of a weekly podcast storm. 4 brothers converged to form an unstable system that can result in massive explosions and colossal eruptions. This is not a test. This is the Sports Forecast.
Greeting, Earthlings. We have now taken over your radio.
Well, welcome in, everybody. We want to thank you for tuning in whenever you are, wherever you are. This is something new. This is the Sports Forecast. It is 4 brothers, all the Gorelniks, confined in one room by 4 walls and a door that might not eventually be there at the end of the show. As we join together, talking sports, talking potentially weather, talking movies, talking whatever it may be that's going to, I guess, intrigue the listeners, which would be you, and also get us riled up, which with some of us is not very difficult. So with that being said, I'm Brian. I'm the moderator, so to speak. And, of course, in the studio, we are joined with Adam, Justin, and Jason. So let's just go down the line real quick. Say hello, Adam, so they hear your voice.
Hello, Adam.
Hello, Adam. Justin?
Hello.
Hello. That is Justin. And Jason, charm us with your tones.
So thrilled to be here.
He is. And we are thrilled that you guys are joining us, listening in. This is the Sports Forecast. Once again, we're going to do this weekly. It's a weekly podcast. For now, it's going to be available for you on Facebook, available on YouTube, and hopefully it'll be available on some web pages down the road. And certainly we are taking over the radio waves here, or your internet waves, if that may be the case. Anyways, so we got a big show. This is our first show, obviously, the inaugural show. And I'm excited. This is a cool kind of concept. 4 brothers talking in the studio. It's going to be a lot of times we do not agree on things, and sometimes we do agree on things.
We couldn't even agree this afternoon where to have dinner tonight.
It took us, what?
4.5 hours to decide on Chili's?
I mean, and then even at that, half the party was 20 minutes late.
Yeah, I was on my schedule, so I told you guys what time I could be there.
I didn't see that.
Well, we were able to house 4 chips and salsa plates before we actually ordered our meal.
So here's how it broke down. Justin got there
down
first.
One himself.
He put one down himself. Then Adam joined him. They put a second down. Then I joined, and we put a third down. And Jason came in, and we topped off a 4th.
Okay, for what it's worth, all right, I texted you guys. I said, anytime after 7 p.m. tonight. Okay, an hour later, you all text me back, 6:30 confirmed. So, yeah, you just learn to read, I guess.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't see the text. I apologize. Listen, we're excited. Right now it's 8:28. That doesn't matter to you guys. Whenever you're listening, we are glad you are. We're going to try to keep this show not incredibly time sensitive because obviously it's a podcast format. So you don't know when you're going to listen to it. There's no opportunity to hear it live at this moment. Maybe that's a goal in the future. But we're going to get together once a week. We would love your input. We would love your suggestions. There is going to be an open forum on Facebook for us to discuss this. And ultimately, I'm excited about this.
Feel free to tune in. Tell us who your least favorite host is. I mean, it's definitely going to be Adam, but that's fine.
Why me?
I mean, it's always you, Stink. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, wisdom with stink.
All right, see ya. The nice thing is I do have mic power over here, so wisdom with stink can be put on hold. So, guys, I mean, this is the Sports Forecast. Trust me, it's not just going to be sports. That's in the title, but we do have something brewed up here towards the end of the show that's going to deviate from our typical sports kind of theme.
Spoiler alert, double entendre.
Another spoiler alert is we got something that Adam's going to lead us off. It's going to be a weekly segment. Top 3 is what the name of it.
Not leading us off, though.
It's not leading us off. I'm just giving a spoiler. If you knew anything about radio, Jay, this is called a tease.
Consider me teased.
All right. Well, you have it there. Let's do this, though. Let's go around the states. Around the major league, I want to know, since we are a forecast, we're a weather show, what cities are having some good weather, some bad weather, maybe some terrible torrential downpour kind of weather. In fact, we could break it down. We'll do a sunny, an overcast, and a heavy rain, and we're going to go around the room, and we're going to hear everybody's opinion on kind of what teams, what cities are experiencing some nice weather and maybe experiencing some poor weather. Jason, since you like to be the big mouth, we're going to start with you.
Oh, I'm on the spot here. All right.
Damn right.
All right. Well, listen, I mean, it's easy to some of these are pretty easy, right? So my sunny forecast, right? And believe it or not, it's not Philadelphia, though that's a good argument to be made. No, it's sunny in the AL East. Let's be honest here. The Red Sox and the Yankees, they're both on pace to win over 100 games. They've both made additions towards the deadline. The Yankees focusing on starting pitching with J.A. Happ and now Lance Lynn. The Red Sox, picking up, obviously, Eovaldi. And first of all, Eovaldi looked great and Happ looked great. Both guys get wins in their first starts for their respective teams. But offensively, these teams are pretty stacked. Defensively, they're well paired. I think that if there's anything that's not looking up in the AL East right now, I mean, for these two teams, is that one of these teams is going to have to play a one-game play-in to the playoffs, which, whatever. But they're both going to the playoffs. They're both phenomenal. It's sunny in New York. It's sunny in Boston. That's easy.
That's fair. Overcast?
Well, I'll save the overcast. The
Okay,
overcast
fine.
is
Get
hard.
to the heavy rain, baby.
You know where it's pouring rain right now? It's pouring rain in Kansas City. Okay, I mean it's easy to pick on the Royals. This is a team that won the World Series in 2015. That's 3 years ago. Okay, this year they might lose 110, 112, 113 games. That would be by far their worst season in history. Okay, they were criticized last year for not selling last year, right? So they keep they kept Mike Moustakas this year. They signed him to a 1-year deal, okay? And now they dealt him to Milwaukee for, some guys who can help you. We're not talking all-star here, and that's fine. It's fair value. But this team's not going to be competitive. Their GM admits they're not going to be competitive for another 3-4 years. I mean, it's, there are rebuilding years. I get that, but this is a storied franchise. And again, to fall on hard times this quickly after a World Series, that's just painful. That's really painful.
To your point, it's fair when you see a key cog in that World Series run like Mike Moustakas being traded
don't
away.
Forget, Eric Hosmer was
That's a good point too, yeah.
They let him go in free agency and they got a first round compensatory pick for him. But I mean, it's just
there's not a lot left there from that.
There's
15
nothing
team.
there. This is a team. I mean, they're not throwing it. It's not like. I don't believe that you do that in baseball, but they're not going to win many games. It's brutal. It's for Kansas City fans. It's a pretty tough pill to swallow.
So whether you got to expect this though with Kansas City. I mean, they're a small market team. They build up. They're similar to like the Marlins, where they bring in some good players. They're good for a couple years. They maybe win a World Series title, and then they can't afford to keep them anymore. Guys like Hosmer, guys like Moustakas, guys like Lorenzo Cain. They gotta go their other ways. So now the Royals are just doing what they always do. They're stocking up again, some fresh talent. They're gonna make some trades, and in a few years from now, 5-6 years, they'll probably be decent again.
No. And actually, if you kind of date back a little bit further, if you look at the most World Series appearances over the last, I'm not quite sure, maybe 20, 25 years, the Kansas City Royals are up there, well behind the New York Yankees, but they are up there. So to Adam's point, they kind of, maybe that's the ship they like to sail, kind of like the Marlins, how they do it.
Okay, but
the Houston
Astros
Astros have done the same thing. The Houston Astros 5 years ago lost 108
right,
games.
Yeah, but that was a different story. They were never really that good before
They were
that.
never good historically, and they had a system that no one was buying into until a couple years ago. I disagree with that, and I also disagree with your comparisons to the Marlins. Okay, short of a couple of early 2000, late 90s, early 2000 runs, that's a team that's been miserable for a long time and continues to be so. So I don't know if I agree. My point is, Justin, I think your point was better for me. Okay, this is a team that's used to success. Yes, it's cyclical. I get that. Okay, but look at what Tampa Bay does. Tampa Bay, we all agree, is a small market team. Okay, can we agree on that?
It's the worst market.
Okay, it's the worst market. But somehow they find these guys, especially pitchers. Okay, it's like they have a pitching whisperer in Tampa. They find these guys that they compete with the Yankees and the Red Sox year in, year out. And even if they don't make the playoffs, even if they're not winning 100 games, they always have the best free agent pitcher for the following year. They always have the guy that everybody wants. You give me, okay, you say they're reloading in Kansas City. Give me 2 guys who are going to be the face of that franchise in 2-3 years.
Salvador Perez.
Salvador Perez is on the downswing.
And Whit Merrifield.
Whit Merrifield, that's your all-star?
Whit Merrifield is very good.
Okay. They have.
You want Whit Merrifield's stats? I'll give them to you right now.
Listen, I'm curious. I don't want to dive too far into Kansas City because, again, this is a team that's going nowhere. But listen, the guy they just traded for, what's his name? They just traded for Moustakas, the prospect. He's the 8th best prospect in the Royals organization, not in MLB. So what are you talking about? Long-term development? I mean, hopefully. Okay, so one of the man, and I don't have the name.
Whit Merrifield, 297 batting, 5 home runs, 32 RBIs, 22 stolen bases.
All right, Adam, but to also your point, Salvador Perez is 28 years old. He's not the new face of your franchise. He is right now the face of the franchise.
Right.
He was the only guy left.
I don't think he's going to be the one. I think he's going to be
his peak.
I think he's going to be the guy who they keep and build another team
But you
around.
can't build around the guy declining.
But listen,
I don't think he's declining. He's 28.
Right, he has how many good years left? 1,
5?
2,
Hey, listen,
3
listen.
solid years
Okay,
where he's the
all right,
best
listen, hey.
player on that team. And if he is the best player on that team in 5 years, they're not going anywhere.
No, but here's the thing. You guys asked me to come up with, right? I didn't say it's pouring rain. I mean, I did say it's pouring rain.
Well, you did heavy rain, yeah.
No, I did, and it is. This isn't a fun baseball.
All right,
thing to
fine.
watch.
So fair. I think that's a fair
let's
assessment.
Put it to bed, but yeah, okay, I agree.
What's
They are
your
positive.
overcast, Jay? Let's get a little bit better in the weather.
The overcast is hard for me. For me, the overcast isn't like overcast indicates it's gonna rain. I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, but I'm gonna go to the 4th highest payroll in Major League Baseball, and it's the Nationals. Okay, this is a team again. 4th highest payroll in the MLB, okay? And they are below 500. They are 3rd in their division. And, okay, they fired Dusty Baker after winning the division twice.
A mistake, by the way.
The biggest, they're getting what they deserve right now. And their argument is they want to go in a different direction. Well, I've got news for you. You're going in a different direction. It's losing. With this roster and this payroll, it's just absolutely disgusting that this team is below 500. Okay, they don't know whether to buy or sell or stand pat. Rumors are, speculation is that it sounds like they really don't want to move Bryce Harper. And okay, but what happens when they miss the playoffs this year? What do you do then? Blow up the entire team? What these guys are underperforming. It's criminal. So, and I'm not saying they can't turn it around. That's why this is the overcast, because the truth is this is a very good lineup on paper. Maybe they turn it around in the final third of this season. They make up a strong playoff push, and that's fine. But how can you be, if you're a Nationals fan or a fan of baseball, how can you look at the Nationals or this organization and be excited about the direction they're trending?
I wouldn't be.
No, right? I mean, it's a mess, and it's an absolute mess in Washington, and that's why I think it's overcast.
Okay, that's fair. Now, Adam, you are obviously heavily against Jason's heavy rain. Who do you have as your heavy rain, Adam? Where is it downpouring?
Where is it downpouring right now?
Yes.
It has to be downpouring in Baltimore. I mean,
more than
point.
Kansas City. They've lost the same number of games as Kansas City.
Yeah, but Baltimore has no starting pitching. They don't have anybody to put out there.
And now they have no hitting as of 2 weeks ago.
Right, and they have no hitting either. I mean,
right, but they're also getting beat up on by 2 100-win teams. I mean, listen, you try playing the Yankees and the Red Sox 26 times a year.
You just said so yourself. Tampa Bay, a team in a small market with one of the lowest salary payrolls in MLB, is trending right at 500 in a division with the Red Sox and the Yankees. And you got Baltimore, who's 40-something games under 500.
No, you're listen, I'm not going to argue. There are 3 teams where it's pouring rain. I hope Justin mentions one other team. I mean, these guys are going to lose. We could have 300-game losers this year. I mean,
you're going to have 3 teams in the American League. The White Sox, the Orioles, and the Royals are all going to lose 100. How about Chris Davis? Do you know how many
What do you
more
think Chris Davis' batting average
I can
is?
tell you right now what he's batting. He's batting about 180.
Yeah,
No.
it's definitely
South.
no. It's definitely
170.
Yes.
South.
170.
Wow. Is it
South.
150?
160.
South.
It's not
150.
150.
159.
159. Okay, now
That's unbelievable. They named a sandwich after him.
Brian, pull up his contract. Look how many more years and look how much more money they owe him still. I'll keep talking while you pull up that contract. So But yeah, 3 teams in the American League are going to lose 100 games.
No, right. And
meanwhile, in the National League, nobody's going to lose 100 games, and a lot of teams that we thought weren't going to be very good teams. The Marlins at least are being competitive. The Reds are being a little competitive. The Braves and Phillies have come out of nowhere. But the problem is the American League is led by 2 teams. It's the Red Sox and the Yankees.
You're missing somebody there.
And Houston.
Okay, I'm in World Series defending.
You
champion.
got his contract up, Brian?
Yeah, it was a 7-year, $161 million.
And when did he
contract.
sign it?
He signed it in 2016.
Okay.
So they owe him.
By the way, at the age of 30.
Okay, so they have him on the books for 7 years. So to 2023, that's 5 more years.
No, to 23 he's unrestricted. So 16 that was part of his first year in
So
the contract.
2022
2 is the last year.
So
and
they
it's-
have him for 4 more years at a buck.
Good luck finding somebody who wants to assume that contract.
Okay, listen.
And the thing is, they didn't pay him up front. They
No.
they broke it even. It's $17 million
right, well,
a
that's
year.
Remember, he's got nobody to protect him. No. You get up there. I mean,
That doesn't explain a
excuse.
batting average
Of 150,
170.
159.
And don't forget,
Wow.
Jason, it's not like they're sitting this guy and he has no chances to get it
no.
up. They're playing him all the time.
Fine. Let me tell you something right now. If I'm Chris Davis on a team that's going nowhere, I probably just pack it into.
And
It's not a defense. It's not a defense.
And they've got They have hitters on that team. They got
Adam
Mark
Jones.
Trumbo. They got Adam Jones. They had Manny
First
Machado
of all,
up
what
until
happened
2
to
weeks
Trumbo?
ago.
Yeah, well, of course. Why not? Listen, I'm not going to argue with your pick. It's pouring rain. You know what the interesting part? 7 of the 15 teams in the AL are under 500 this year. It's the league of disparity. Okay, I mean it's literally.
Well, every team except Cleveland in the Central's under 500.
No, that's what I'm saying. So the truth is, the AL is just a hot mess. Honestly, the NL is the better conference, but the AL is going to win the World Series.
I'll tell you right
There
now.
there was one player for the Baltimore Orioles this year who was batting over 300, and he's over on the West Coast now. The next highest batting average comes in at 285, and that's Adam Jones.
Okay, nothing wrong with 285, by the way.
And if it wasn't for his defense, he probably wouldn't be much to talk about either.
Adam Jones?
No,
I think he's a pretty good
there's
player.
Nothing wrong. There's
285 is fine. Jason is
285
right.
is fine.
And he
There's
does
nothing
hit for
wrong.
some power.
And let me just add you speak of power. How many home runs does he have, and how many RBIs?
Who, Adam
on the
Jones?
season?
He's probably
We're
got
talking
under
100 games played. 100
a
games
dozen
played.
home runs.
Right.
Adam Jones has 11 home runs,
Oh.
44 RBIs.
Okay, all right.
That's
Well,
pathetic.
Okay, but
Hey,
who's
you know
getting
what,
on base? Who's
you know what
getting
Chris
on base?
Davis has? 13 home runs, 35 RBIs.
Hey, he actually has more. Who's getting on base in Baltimore though? But okay,
fine.
I'm not disagreeing.
You want to look
It's
at on
boring.
base percentage? Fine.
Well, while you're looking that
Well,
up,
hang on. Let me ask you this, Justin. Who is your heavy rain?
Yeah,
Who is
who
your
is- yeah,
torrential
that's-
downpour?
yeah.
Because it sounds like to me that you're arguing for Baltimore.
it does.
No, I agree that it's raining pretty heavy in Baltimore.
But
Was
who is
that
your team?
is that your pick?
No, that's not my pick. I got to be honest with you. I think the LA Angels have had a pretty disappointing season as well.
They had
you got
injuries.
arguably the best player in baseball in Mike Trout, and they're sitting one game above 500,
Okay,
They've lost
just
two.
above the Texas.
They've
Rangers.
lost 2 starting pitchers,
start-
Garrett Richards and Matt Shoemaker, and Otani, if you want to count that as well.
oh, you have to. Otani's. I mean,
So they've
Otani
lost-
looks to be a superstar.
So they've lost 3 starting pitchers this year. You can't. I mean,
I don't think it's pouring rain. It's cloudy. It's a down year, but I
right.
don't think it's pouring rain.
I mean, a team like the New York Mets is a lot more worse situation than the
Well, when
Angels.
you look at how they started the season off.
Who, the Angels?
Oh, the Mets.
Oh, the Mets.
well, the Mets are a disgraceful
Oh,
organization.
yeah.
How did they start the season off?
Oh, they were like for the first month or so, they were like one of the better teams in the NL.
No,
By the way, your Angels, being one game over 500, I don't think it's all that bad over there.
we can agree that.
I know, but it's just tough when you have arguably the best player.
Yeah,
in
but
baseball.
but Albert
in a pretty good
Pujols,
division,
Albert Pujols
too.
is on the decline. So be honest with you, in that lineup, other than Mike Trout, does anybody in that lineup scare you?
I'd have to.
This isn't 2003 Albert Pujols.
He's got a great point. He's got a very valid point. And Otani looked like he was
I
going to
mean,
be.
Right, but this is-
Andrelton Simmons is probably the second best player in that lineup after Mike Trout.
I mean, you're not wrong, Adam. But I still don't know that it's pouring rain. I don't think that this is a team that's not going to be somewhat competitive.
All right, so Adam, work your way back up because you liked Baltimore as pouring rain.
Right.
Where is it overcast?
Overcast?
Yeah, where is the rain holding off, but it doesn't look pretty?
I would probably have to agree with Jason. I would say Washington right now. I mean, that Washington is clearly your biggest disappointment of the season, hands down.
So why is it not torrential downpour in Washington?
Because they're only 5.5, 6 games out of the division, so it's not like they're out of it at this point. If they go on a run, let's say they win 17 of 20 games, something like that, all of a sudden they're right there back within a game, maybe even tied for the division, maybe even leading at that point. And they are capable of going on a run like that because they are talented enough to do so. But for whatever reason, through the first 100-plus games of the season, it's not working. So that's why all the, should they trade? Should they sell? Should they buy? I don't know. I really don't know. But no, Washington, when you look at Major League Baseball right now, Washington is clearly your biggest disappointment. So it has to be, they have to be the overcast.
Fine. Where is it sunny?
Sunny?
Yeah.
Oakland.
That's
Oakland.
a great point.
61 and 46, and name me 2 players on that team right now. All you guys, name me 2 players.
You got me.
Name me a pitcher.
I don't know, pitcher.
Sean Manaea, Daniel Megnan. You guys ever heard of those guys?
Edwin Jackson.
I mean,
Chris Davis. By the way, the good Chris Davis.
Yeah.
The guy who spells his name Khris. The good Chris Davis.
Yeah, well, he's actually pretty nasty.
He is. He is. No, this Oakland, because I'm telling you right now, they are going to pull ahead of the Seattle Mariners. You watch. They are going to be the team playing the New York Yankees in the American League wild card.
There's a name you could have put out. Familia, man.
Yeah. Familia. They just traded for him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a name I would have known. Other than that, no, I'm with. Listen, no team has made it to the playoffs with their kind of payroll starting the year.
This is Moneyball again with Billy Beane. It
to
really
another
is.
extreme. It really is.
It is. No, Oakland Athletics by far is the sunniest place right now.
I like really good. That's a hot take. I like that.
Justin, can you beat Oakland? Jason likes the AL East. Adam likes Oakland. I'm interested in what you have to say.
I mean, it's a little hard to go third on this. I agree. I think the AL East this year is doing something that we haven't seen in a long time. 2 very dominant teams. It's going to come down to the wire. I don't like the fact that, and I spoke with you about this last night. I don't like the fact that one of these 2 teams is going to have to, put a 100+ win season on a one game playoff. I don't like that. But that's the reality of it.
All it's going to take is either Boston or New York to lose that one game in
Major
Major League Baseball.
And there's going to be a big stink about it.
Right.
But we're going to be talking about this.
But to answer your question, it's hard to beat Oakland. I agree. If I have to go with anybody, I'm going to have to go with the obvious at this point and say on the complete opposite coast and go to L.A. and mention the Dodgers. If Clayton Kershaw coming back into his form, obviously the addition of Manny Machado. I mean, you got an all-star lineup.
32 and 17 since June 1st.
Yeah, you got an all-star lineup out in Los Angeles, and I think that they probably, in my opinion, have to be the front runners going into the second half of the season.
It's pretty good when you can lose Kyle Seager for the year and just say, okay, we'll make a trade and replace him with Manny Machado.
Well, that was a great move.
The Dodgers started the year off terribly.
They did.
They
32. They were under 500 in June. 32 and 17 since June.
That's right. And listen,
It's a good one.
I think the Dodgers came in and saved the Orioles. Also, I mean, I have to throw it out there, but saved them from having to deal Machado to an AL East rival. I mean, great to ship him over to the West Coast and say,
they're happy to dish him over there.
Exactly
Absolutely.
right. Don't have to play him 13 times a year.
All right, so Justin, let's brew in some trouble in the skies. And what's your overcast? Because obviously your torrential downpour was the Angels. You're sticking out in L.A. with the sunny weather. It's kind of odd that it's downpouring in Anaheim, but it's okay.
It's 30 miles. It's 30 miles between LA and Anaheim.
Not that close.
Hey, his overcast is going to be the the Giants. It might be.
No.
It is pretty overcast in San Francisco.
It is pretty overcast. They're close.
It's hard to really come up with an overcast. I mean, when I think of the word overcast, I look at it from a standpoint of we're talking about a team that can make a run, that is still in a sense, in the race.
So
but
the Giants.
That Giants, honestly, if I were to give a list,
there's a lot of question marks surrounding that, and they're kind of teetering on the line here. And the Giants would certainly be one of those teams. If you're kind of looking at it from that standpoint, another team, was sort of the Minnesota Twins, a team that, last year kind of sold midway through the season, and then actually made a run for it towards the end of the season. Almost ended up in that wild card spot, but with every year that goes by, you get an aging Joe Mauer. I think his contract is up this year. They just traded away Lance Lynn to the Yankees, a team that, 9 games back of Cleveland probably doesn't have much of a chance of catching them. I just kind of wonder where this team goes from here.
I think another team that you can look at as an overcast is the St. Louis Cardinals. I mean, this is a team this is a team though that is consistently always making runs for the playoffs. And look at a week ago, they're firing their manager Mike Matheny in the middle of the season. Actually, I believe it was more of a mutual thing. I think he stepped down. But
it's never good when you
correct
when you
make
when
a
your
manager
goes in the middle of the season.
of the season.
And they're above 500. I mean, I think every team in the Central is above 500, right?
Yes, the Pittsburgh.
It's a pretty good division.
Well, the Pirates just had an 12 game winning streak.
Winning streak, right? And the Cubs and Milwaukee both have over 60 wins.
Cincinnati is.
The Reds.
Cincinnati,
Matt Harvey and the Cincinnati Reds.
Cincinnati, though, is playing a lot better than a lot of people thought.
Well, it's a tough division.
Everybody thought the Marlins were going to be the joke of the National League, and Cincinnati was going to be right next to them. And yet, it's the Mets that's the joke of the National League.
Again,
well,
I've said
Adam, to be fair, the Mets are 44-59, and the Reds are 48-58. It's not much better.
I get it,
but
the Mets have a lot more. I mean, you look at
but you got to remember their injuries too.
Jacob deGrom could be the National League Cy Young Award winner.
He might actually be traded.
I mean, look at Jacob deGrom's numbers. They're fantastic.
I'm with you. It seems like it's an everlasting problem for the Mets. Every year they run into injury problems. I've never seen an organization with more major name players continually going down every single year than the Mets.
I mean, what's the? I can't think of his name. He's off the top of my head. The third baseman, who's always hurt for them. David Wright. David Wright.
Not Murphy. Yeah, right.
David Wright. When was the last time he played?
Who knows? And you know what? They're still paying him.
Cespedes is done again for this.
Well, he needs time to heal the heel. Listen, I think you guys came up with some good names. I think the Giants would be the only team that was briefly discussed. And to my point on the Giants, you go out and get a McCutchen, you go out and get a Longoria. I mean, you're refueling for a run this year to try to take a shot at the Dodgers, and you're sitting, just ahead of the Padres behind the Rockies and Diamondbacks in that division. I don't think they should be happy in any way, shape, or form. I mean, they did not make moves over the offseason to be this poor.
All I know is, and I've been saying this all year, I am so happy when Giancarlo Stanton came out with the list of teams that he wanted to be traded to. He did not have the Boston Red Sox on there, because had he had them on there, Dombrowski would have done something to get him, which meant it would have been trading Devers, Benintendi, somebody like that, and we would never have had J.D. Martinez.
I don't know. I don't think you'll ever know the answer to that. I don't know if I agree. You don't know. Maybe the Red Sox were eyeing J.D. Martinez for
You don't
for
think that
time.
they would have made the trade for Stanton over signing
Adam,
Martinez?
it may not have been the option.
Hard to
Is it
say.
possible that Stanton maybe wanted to go to New York more than Boston? Maybe there's a better culture for him in New York than there is in Boston?
You can't play the what-if game.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm not upset how it worked out, but you can't play the what-if game.
So anyways,
hang on. Are you moving off of baseball?
I was, yes.
Okay, can I just bring up the one? I'm a little surprised none of us touched it, and I blame myself, but nobody wanted to talk about the race between Philly and Atlanta, huh? And any of that. I mean, it's obviously not raining in either of those cities.
Well, I was going to get to that.
That might be
baseball's
baseball's best race going. I mean, the Yankees and the Red Sox are.
I think it's going to be hard to beat the Yankees-Red Sox race.
No question. If you're talking two teams, Yankees, Red Sox.
Are we biased?
Well, Cubs-
Are we biased
No,
where we
but
are?
listen,
We are
just-
biased, but I guarantee you the nation would agree.
But history says that too. But I mean, come on, Philly, Atlanta's pretty.
If you're talking two teams, it's Yankees, Red Sox. If you're talking three teams, the best race for the division is going to be the East in the National League, Philly, Atlanta,
if
and
the
Washington.
Nationals don't continue to tank.
what about Cubs Brewers? They're right there.
But there's
but
only
it's-
two teams in that race,
I mean-
Adam. The Washington Nationals are the team who should have won that
It is-
division
that is
hands
true-
down.
that is true.
And now they're coming from the back of the pack. I think that's an exciting race.
Okay.
Anyways,
right.
so yeah, ultimately, I think you guys made some good points. Oakland, I think, was a really good call. Good point on the Dodgers as well. Jason took the easy route with the AL East.
Wow, thanks.
Couple Washingtons as overcast. That would be my torrential downpour. I think it's awful in Washington because of the fact that they had such high expectations, and they're about to go out with only getting a compensatory pick for Bryce Harper. I mean, they're not going to trade him. They're not going to get anything back from him other than the draft pick, through wherever he signs, L.A. or Chicago.
Guy's only hitting 220. I just want to throw that out too.
That's a fair
Yeah,
point.
but he won the home run derby, so he's still going to get paid.
Hometown, and
but
nobody
you know-
participated.
I can hit a home run in the home run.
Whoa. All right. Listen. All right. If we ever have the opportunity to get into a major league ballpark, I want to see Justin hit
By
a
the
home
way,
run.
real quick, since we're on this, do you buy the Cubs argument that Harper cheated in the home run derby? Did you guys hear
I
about
don't
this?
even. No. You know what? Let me put this argument to bed right now. Who cares about
Well,
the
nobody
home run
cares,
derby?
but obviously the Cubs
Didn't
fans
hear about it and really don't care that much.
Well, actually, I do care because Bryce Harper went out there and the show that he put on was great, but he took it all in. If you're going to cheat, then you can't take it all in as he did. You can't cheat and take it all in. You got to go one or the
He
other.
had the cake and the glory.
I don't know anything about this story, so I can't really comment.
I'll sum it up real quick. Jason, the rules of the home run derby are you have to wait for the last pitch to fall or the hit to fall before you can get
ball
another
has
pitch.
to land in the
Yeah,
stand.
ball
I know,
has to
but this
land.
happens every year.
And he's
It
doing
does.
rapid fire at the end of the
yeah,
game.
okay, I get that.
Cubs
I mean,
fans came to Twitter. They said he is owed
This
4
happens-
home runs.
this happens
okay,
all the
great,
time.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, you know what doesn't happen all the time is a top three. I take that back. It happens all the time.
Like
but-
every week.
But we're going to do our own rendition of the top three. It's going to be randomized. It's not going to necessarily always be sports themed, but we are going to dive into it. And each week, there's going to be a new host. It was Adam's idea. So today, Adam is the host for this week's podcast.
Bring it on, Adam.
What's our top three topic?
So
and
we're
then
doing
we're
this
going
now,
to
or we're going to let everybody think about it?
We're doing it now.
we're doing it now because we're going to finish off with another topic called highs and lows of the week.
So, my top three for this week, it's summertime. You get in your car, you drive out places. Every now and then, you got to stop at the old fuel station and fill up with some gas. You go into the convenience store at the gas station.
This is an easy one.
So, my top three are the top three items that you're grabbing when you go into the convenience store at the gas station.
Like anything in the
Anything
store?
in the
Anything in the store.
Oh.
Anything in the store. So,
All right, well, give us some time to think about it. So
I think I know
you
three
got-
of our number one.
right.
All right, well, that's fine. So you can hit.
So I'll go first because I've had the
Fine.
since I thought of it. I know what I already got my
Start
top
from
three.
3 to 1.
Okay.
What's your number 3?
So my number 3, when I'm going into the convenience store, I'm looking for myself a bag of those combos. You know, they're like a
combos?
they're like a pretz.
Yeah,
They're
they're the
with that
everybody
manufactured
that
cheese.
Adam, everybody
disgusting
knows
fake
what a
cheese.
combo
Oh,
is. Are you really going to
so
describe
it's
it?
like a pretzel and it's
Yeah.
got
No,
like fake
Adam.
cheese in there. Yep.
Who even eats combos still?
Oh, I love combos.
God.
so
What's your
gross.
what's your flavor of combo?
Oh,
Because they got a lot of
No, you
flavors.
got anything with a pretzel around
Right,
it.
it's got
the pizza
no, but they
pretzel.
have a
Pizza
pizza. Yeah, they have
pretzel.
like
Well, they make the
they have-
5-layer
There's
dip.
Yep, there's
Actually,
a cheddar one.
I will give you credit for dessert. I do like the salted caramel combos.
What's your second? What else you getting in there?
All right. So after I've eaten my combos, of course, I'm a little salty. I got to wash it down. So I'm going for a 20-ounce bottle of
Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
That was an obvious.
Grabbing a 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew.
And then after you drink the Mountain Dew, and you're probably one of those guys that when you drink the Mountain Dew, it's not enough to just hold the bottle up. You got to squeeze the bottle as you're drinking it.
Force it down the throat.
Yeah, how'd you know?
Adam, what's your number one convenience store treat?
Well, it's my favorite candy of all time.
Knew it!
I'm going for a bag of Sour Patch Kids.
Which is going to be another number one.
No. I'll give you my
Sour
three
Patch
right now.
Kids is the number one candy at a movie theater. Sour Patch Kids is the number one candy at a convenience store.
For the listeners, I will say this. Sour Patch Kids is definitely a family
now,
favorite.
do you have a favorite color Sour Patch Kid?
all right.
We'll get to that in a second.
Hold
'cause
on, yeah. Who's up
Justin,
next? Justin or
you
Brett?
wanted to jump in, so go ahead, Justin. What's your top three?
It's very simple. The first thing I go as I walk
You
to the
starting
back,
with number one?
starting with number one.
Let's go.
And it's the order in which I grab them. I go immediately to the refrigerator.
So true.
And I grab an ice cold
DC.
can, not a bottle, not a bottle, an ice cold can of Diet Coke. Okay, not a plastic bottle that gets warm.
Canned
Sometimes
Diet
it-
Coke is bad. Fountain soda Diet Coke is.
Whoa, I don't have that.
You've already
optional.
done
No,
yours.
there's-
No,
no,
hey, hey,
false,
hey,
dude.
hey.
That's false.
Hey,
Drinks.
you've already done
So
yours.
once I get my Diet Coke, I make my way over to the beef jerky section.
Yeah.
Okay. I pick up a pack of either teriyaki or jalapeno beef jerky.
What's your favorite? What's your go-to gas station typical option? Like a
Well,
Jack
here
Link's
the
or-
options are very slim around
I
here.
know
Messing
Rosie.
with
I know
Seth.
Rosie's.
So,
I know Rosie's is one
you
of
know,
your
if you're up
favorite.
in Vermont, we hit up the Rosie's. But here in Connecticut, I got to go with the Jack Link's jalapeno or the teriyaki. And then after I pick up my beef jerky and I pay for my beef jerky and my Diet Coke, in the summer, I never leave the gas station without a $20 scratch off.
Ooh.
There you go.
Oh.
I
like that
that's
one.
good. That's pretty. That's
$20
What's your
scratch
game?
off.
What's your game?
I let him pick.
Oh, you.
Oh, that's a bad
dealer's choice.
No, that's a terrible strategy.
Nah, that's the way you got to go.
How often do you win?
Scratch offs never.
Maybe Jason's right. Maybe it is a bad strategy. Jason, go ahead.
No, Brian, you show me. Give me. Because mine's not that. Mine's pretty similar.
Well, I'm at the gas station. There's a lot that I like. You guys are gonna. I'm going way out to left field on this one. It was a recent
boy,
discovery.
Here we go.
I think it's Wise that makes it. It's hot popcorn. It's like hot
Okay,
cheese
yeah,
popcorn.
yeah,
It's
everyone's seen it,
phenomenal.
all right.
It's absolutely
Hot
phenomenal.
in the bag.
Yes, it's a warm bag. They actually microwave it before they give it to you. No, Adam, it's hot, like spicy.
You know, like Al's hot fries.
Yeah. Al's hot fries. Is that the name of the real like barbecue fries? Hot fries? That's Al's.
Al's hot fries.
I guess.
Is it really
I've
Al's?
never had them.
I
Yeah,
thought
I'm
Hot
sure it's
Fries
Al's.
was the name of the company.
Let me double check myself.
All right,
buy
fine.
it.
He's
I mean,
on
I
the
go-
research. So me, yeah, that's my. I love the hot popcorn. Number two, I'm definitely siding with Justin. I don't think I ever leave a gas station without a bag of beef jerky in my hand. He turned me on to the Rosie's up in Vermont, but me, I'm a sweet and hot kind of guy. Jack Link's, whatever it be. This country kitchen. I mean, I think I've had a million different kinds of beef jerky. So that's my number two, and my number one, just like Adam, Sour Patch Kids. It's the number one candy.
Okay.
By
Now,
far.
you didn't answer
let
the
me
question.
clarify things. It's not Al's. It's Andy Cap's hot
Caps.
fries.
Wow.
Andy
Sweet.
Cap.
Wow. Legendary.
So, Sour Patch Kids. What's your? It's got to be red, right?
Favorite color?
Ew, no, what?
No, the blue is the best color.
Blue is brand new. It just came out a couple years.
Green.
You like
Green.
the blue?
Green is.
Are you talking
green is
old
the best.
school or are we
Yeah,
talking new school?
I mean,
talking
blue and
anything.
green are the best.
Blue
Red.
is the best Sour Patch Kid.
I'm curious to hear what Jason likes to get when he.
All right. So listen, I mean, this is not totally unsimilar, but let's just make it clear, okay? When I walk into the gas station, the convenience store, there's only 3 convenience stores I'm walking into, okay? If you're a little dump on the side of the road, okay, little can't even be bothered to be a real store, I'm not going in anyways, okay? And if your town, state, or city or interstate highway can't have a 7-Eleven, a Cumberland Farms, or a Wawa, you don't even deserve my business, okay?
And you need a big gulp.
You need a big one. Okay, let me make this clear. So this is true. This is how I judge whether or not, and this is honest story. I will bring in witnesses. Okay, I walk in and I look to my right. Okay, and this is where it always is because the left is usually the counter and the back wall is the coolers. I look to my right. Okay. If there isn't a fountain soda machine, it's not worth it. It's not worth the stop. I will stop at McDonald's, okay, and get a $1 any size Diet Coke. Okay, it's
but
ridiculous.
isn't it true that a McDonald's Diet Coke is the
Okay,
best?
no,
Diet
and it
Coke?
is
The
okay.
best on earth.
No, and this is science. This is not actually a joke. Okay, laugh. No, Diet Coke is better than McDonald's. They have a special deal. So their lines, the actual soda lines, they're frozen. They're deep frozen. They're
Is
under
this
they're kept-
classified information?
No,
by
no,
the way?
this is no Google it. It tastes better at McDonald's because it's kept colder than any other fountain soda you'll ever get. The lines are frozen. Okay, they use hydrogen or whatever. It's ice cold. That's why it's better. But seriously, if there's no fountain Diet Coke, I'm leaving. I might grab a bottle. I might grab a bottle of water. But if you're really in the mood, you got to go with the fountain Diet Coke. Now, after the fountain Diet Coke, you can go one of two ways. You're either you're savory or you're sweet. Okay, so if you're savory, the only Everyone's looking at the Red Sox game.
Yeah, come on.
The only choice is the barbecue Fritos twists. Okay, your hands get orange. It's a little messy, but if you're looking for savory, that's all that matters. Okay, if you're looking for sweet, you guys are all into the candy. There used to be a candy at 7-Eleven, and I could only find it at 7-Eleven called Rips. It was a little sour. They had a red and green option, but other than that, I'm not going the sweet. So I'm looking for Reese's peanut butter, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's.
I mean, it's an easy to eat candy. It's clean. It's a perfect combo.
The cups?
No, the pieces.
Oh, you said
the
pieces.
Reese's
Pieces.
Pieces.
You said the pieces.
Wait, have you had the cups with the pieces? Because those are pretty bomb.
Oh yeah, like the big cup with the pieces.
Now you're getting new age right now.
Yeah, this is
course,
pretty
right?
new age.
Well, I'm the
Seriously.
youngest on the show, so I might as
That
well
is
show
true.
my youth. All right, so listen, Jason, you're doing DC Diet Coke out of the fountain. You're doing the
only.
barbecue twists and barbecue what? Fritos,
Yeah,
right?
they're Fritos twists.
Yeah,
barbecue.
Frito
Yeah,
twists,
oh, yeah,
and then a
absolutely.
Reese's Pieces to finish it out. That's your 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fun, Adam. That was a good topic.
That was a great topic. Nice
Obviously,
job,
we
Adam.
like some candy. We all have. I was the only one without a soda, actually. So everybody likes to drink, but me. I'm gonna stick with my water, guys. You know what? Akron, Ohio, has suffered some poor weather this offseason. LeBron James leaving, and you know what? Also, there's going to be a golf tournament this week in Akron, Ohio, the WGC Bridgestone, and Thursday. Not looking so good. Friday, not looking so good. And Sunday, looking like there's some showers.
Oh, it's funny, Brian, that you also said you mentioned LeBron and leaving Akron. Well, this golf tournament is in its final season of playing at Firestone. This golf tournament is also leaving Firestone.
Well, let me tell you something. The people in Cleveland and Cincinnati have been leaving for a long time. So
Well, it's
not
going to
really
continue to
surprised.
happen. So last year, Hideki Matsuyama won. I guess we're not going to dive into our pick for winning it yet because we're going to finish off the topic with that. But, I mean, what is the big thing we're looking for on this WGC? Or, I mean, maybe we should even start off right now. The status of golf is
Fantastic.
I totally agree.
The best it's been in a number of years.
Can't agree with that.
Why not?
Okay. Are we talking golf or are we talking
PGA
the
Tour
PGA
golf.
Tour?
PGA Tour golf.
Okay, the PGA Tour is doing well. It's going to continue to do well. It's got revenue. It's got sponsors. It's got TV. But it's got a big problem because the sport of golf is struggling in this country. Worldwide, it's doing great. In the United States, golf is struggling, and it's big time. So I can't say that the PGA Tour is doing great when if nobody's playing the sport, who's following it?
I got news for you. The final round of the British Open, as far as ratings were concerned, were the best ratings since when? Do you know?
I'm going to say the Mickelson shootout in 2014.
No.
Mickelson and
Rory.
and
Not
no,
Ro- yeah,
not Rory. Whoever beat him.
No, Ricky.
No, it's not. Well, Ricky might have been.
He was
there.
in that.
No, who won it?
It was Rory, didn't win it?
No.
Talking about the British?
Yeah, the year after Mickelson won it, he almost had back-to-back wins.
No, it was Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and Phil Mickelson.
Was it?
And Rory played in a group by himself, and Ricky and Phil were playing in the same
That
group.
doesn't sound right, but
I think
Well,
you're
it's the
thinking,
highest
I think
TV
you're thinking of
rating.
the PGA Championship.
Was that the PGA?
Yeah, that was Ricky
at
and Phil.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You're
Well,
right.
it was the highest TV rating since the
Yeah.
year 2000 at
Okay.
St. Andrews.
And
2000. Wow.
so
Yeah,
you're
but-
talking that it's on the decline?
No.
Well, we just saw one of the
Time
best
out.
final
Since
rounds.
2000, and that's only because Tiger Woods had a chance to win it. And this is a 40-year-old golfer. The sport is
Okay.
dying. It's not growing.
And look at how he's playing.
He can't, even if he wins 14, if he wins the next 8 majors, it doesn't matter because 9 majors from now he's retired. He's playing on the the Champions Tour, and the sport
You want to
is
know?
dead.
You want to know how bad this game needs Tiger Woods? I'm going to read you a little stat here. Okay?
This is hurting your argument.
No. Tell me who has the most PGA Tour wins. So Dustin Johnson won last week or this past week at the RBC. Okay, and that gives him 19 PGA Tour wins since 2008. Tell me who's second.
I saw this, so I'm not going to answer.
You can answer if you saw it because I haven't seen it. But
Tell me
since
who has the
2008
second most wins since
the answer-
2008.
Mickelson and Woods.
No, the answer is TW.
The answer is Tiger Woods with
You said
18
second.
wins.
You said second
He has
and
the
most.
second most wins
Oh, okay, I got you. You're right.
behind Dustin Johnson.
Right.
And we're talking about a guy who has basically been sitting on his couch for nearly a decade in that
Okay.
period of time.
Right, but
I
that
find that stat completely
so this doesn't.
astonishing.
How does this
That is
not?
incredible.
How does that not hurt your argument? The old guys are the ones who draw the names. There isn't a new guy who
My
brings
argument
people
is
out.
my argument is that golf right now is the greatest it's been in a long time.
Okay,
and,
today.
and primarily because of the fact that Tiger Woods is back and appears to be healthy.
Okay, but listen, if you have oceanfront property and a Category 5 storm is offshore, you may have the nicest piece of property in the country today, but an hour from now, your house is going to be underwater.
I don't see this. I don't see the storm that you're alluding
I
to.
think
Yeah.
You have no good young golfers. No,
Ooh, that's false.
they're
gonna-
inconsistent. No, you have good golfers. They're not bringing people. Listen, I love Patrick Reed. You guys know I love Patrick Reed. 4 years ago, I drafted him.
Patrick
in a-
Reed didn't even come to mind when you mentioned young golfers.
Okay, well, I don't know. First of all, he's the
that's true.
face. Are you
honest
kidding
with
me?
you, it didn't even
Okay,
come to
he's
mind.
the face of the United States in international competition. He won the Masters this year, and I'm just telling you, this is not a guy who draws crowds. Dustin Johnson's too inconsistent to draw crowds. Okay, and he chokes at some pretty
Well, I have
damn
news
big
for you.
moments.
I have news for you. Every new face of golf or potential new face of golf is definitely inconsistent.
Okay, who is the?
But you're
no,
also
no, okay.
relating it to a Tiger Woods that was
Forget Tiger Woods. Who behind Tiger and Phil Mickelson? Who is unanimously the most popular person on the PGA Tour?
Ricky Fowler.
Ricky
Yeah,
Fowler.
Ricky Fowler.
What major has Ricky Fowler won?
He hasn't won one.
Okay,
He's won the players.
that's not
Yeah,
a major.
unofficial,
the,
baby.
The unofficial major. So
Yes,
you tell me
thank you
how
for
the
clarifying that that's not an official
most
major.
You tell me
Adam.
how the
Thank
most
you.
popular player in the sport hasn't won its best. Has he won? Has he won a tour championship?
You can
Has he
argue.
won
You
the
can
FedEx
argue.
Cup?
You can argue that Dustin Johnson is just as popular.
Not
you
even
can
close.
argue
No,
that
sir.
Jesus.
Jordan Spieth.
Jordan Spieth
And what
is
happened to
just
him
as
this year? And
popular.
where's Jordan Spieth? Vacationing on a beach somewhere?
You can't. I mean, we're talking about a multiple major champion here.
When did what year?
Yeah, but you know
in
my
his heyday,
issue with-
in his heyday, when did Tiger Woods take a year off? When did Tiger Woods not do anything for a year?
To Jason's point, there are a lot of guys like Rory had a quick run where it was like this guy's
Yep.
the next Tiger,
Yep.
and then Jordan Spieth came over and it was like maybe Rory's not it, but Jordan Spieth is definitely it. Look at the way he's dominating,
Yeah.
but nobody stays
Listen,
at that level.
Listen, golf right now is at the strongest it has ever
no.
been as far as the most talent out there right
agree.
now.
I agree.
Every single tournament, every major, every WGC, there are 25 to 30 guys who you can easily say have a shot at winning that tournament. That being said, golf has got a big problem, though, and the reason is because right now, if there were 3 golfers out there who people would pay to watch play, it would be Tiger Woods, it would be Phil Mickelson, and it would be John Daly. And
He's
that's-
not wrong.
And the problem is that John Daly is on the senior tour, and Mickelson and Woods aren't far away from the senior
I
tour.
mean, you're a little biased towards Daly, but I mean,
I'm
people
not
will
biased
see,
towards
no,
Daly.
people pay to see Rory. They'll pay to see Spieth. But no, you're not right. They'll pay to see Bubba Watson, and I don't know how you can do that. But
Well, I would pay to see John Daly.
oh, me too. But you, Adam, we all know you.
And
love
to
John Daly.
that though, you will probably be seeing another John Daly on tour sometime in the near future. I don't know if you watch his kid play, but he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, but
yeah.
will he be as fun to watch?
Oh, yeah.
Will he throw
Well,
his
he's-
clubs into the lake?
Well, he's got the look at least.
But golf right now,
Will he shotgun a beer?
Golf right now basically has the same problem that Major League Baseball does. They have so much talent, but they don't really have anybody to market the game.
I disagree. Baseball has less talent. They're both in trouble for different reasons, but baseball has some good talent.
You
They don't
said so
have all-star
yourself.
talent.
Their most marketable athlete on the
no.
PGA, besides Tiger Woods
Right.
and Phil Mickelson, your most marketable athlete on the PGA Tour right now is Ricky Fowler.
No, you're making my point for me. I agree with you. Listen, Brian,
Jordan Spieth is not a very marketable person.
he can be.
He's kind of boring. He really is.
No, I disagree with you. He shows so much emotion. I totally disagree. He's got that young Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson has no camera skills.
No, Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson's boring. I'm with Jason. Jordan Spieth
Jordan
is an
Spieth
electric guy.
is fire.
I mean,
he's electric.
What was the biggest moment? I guess the most memorable moment from last year's golf season.
No, it was Jordan Spieth holding out at the Travelers.
Why? Because the Travelers is not a big tournament.
No, that was memorable. That was the atmosphere too. The crowd,
the atmosphere, but his reaction. If he just walked up to the cup and picked the ball out of the hole and waved to the crowd and did what maybe a Dustin Johnson would do, it wouldn't be as exciting. He was going nuts. He was bringing that Tiger-esque energy. That's why Jordan Spieth is likable.
By the way, I just want to throw something out really quickly. Brian, I noticed that you were looking at the rankings for the WGC this week and the odds of winning. And can I just say really quickly, Francisco Molinari, 25 to 1 to win this week. Why wouldn't you throw some money? The guy
he's not going to win.
He's the hottest golfer on the planet right now.
Okay.
Who are you talking about? The Indian?
Okay. For the listeners, all right. For the listeners, this is an inside joke, and I don't know why you'd make it. For the listeners, Brian actually, I don't know what planet he grows up on. I really don't. I mean, first of all, the name is Francesco Molinari.
Right.
But forget that. I mean, we've heard of him before. He's been around. But his name is Francesco Molinari.
I know.
In a private family group message, Brian claimed that we were talking about an Indian golfer when discussing Francesco Molinari. I'm not sure where that came from.
He obviously got him and Anaban Lahiri, confused.
I guess
I'll tell you what.
Anaban Lahiri is not Indian.
I'll tell you what.
No,
guys, I'll tell you what happened.
No, he's from the islands. He's
exactly
Indonesian.
What happened, guys? Real quick, we're running low on time.
So don't cut us off. Let's just go. Let's move on.
All right, fine, fair enough.
Wait a minute. Lahiri is from India.
He's Indonesia.
No, he's not. He's from India.
All right, let's just move on.
Jason, you're wrong.
Okay, I'll take the wrong. I will look it up, but I will take him wrong. Brian really wants us to move on. Brian, what's next?
We're inside 9 minutes. So what's next is I want to know who you guys have for the win.
All right,
I want to
real
know
quick,
who's winning this week.
quick, Rory McIlroy.
So you're going to take McIlroy this week?
I like Rory this year. I like he only guy who went 4 red rounds at the Open. Tied second. I mean, and having a decent year. I like Rory, and he loves Bridgestone. He really he really does. He performs very well. I'm taking Rory.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Rapid fire.
Justin?
I'm gonna stick with my guns, and I'm gonna go with the guy who leads the PGA Tour this year in third round scoring. A guy who has won here multiple times at Firestone. And I got to go with Tiger Woods.
Okay. Brian, you have a pick, or you want me to go?
Go ahead, Adam.
So there used to be a
rapid fire.
There used to be a tournament called the Buick Championship. It was held at Warwick Hills out in Michigan.
It also was held in Connecticut, but that's fine.
No, this is the Buick Championship. Anyways, it was a tournament that was dominated by Tiger Woods. And the final year of the tournament, Tiger Woods said, I need to go here and I need to play in front of all these fans. So he went there and he won easily again because he's won there so many times. Well, Tiger's also won at Firestone so many times. And this is the final year of this tournament. I think this is the tournament that Tiger's going to win this year. I don't know if he's going to win a major this year. I don't think he's going to win the PGA. But if there was a tournament that he would win this year, I think it's this one. Small field, knows the course. I like Tiger.
It's a bold pick. It's a bold pick.
I mean, yeah, he looked good. It's definitely possible. For the record, I'm pretty sure it was the Buick Championship.
Yeah, no, for the record, Jason's 99% right. It was the Buick Championship.
Yeah. The GHO became the Buick. Well, after it was handed over from Canon.
Right, Canon took it over, and then.
But oddly, he never played in it.
Tiger played in Connecticut as an amateur, never as a pro.
Yeah, because he got hated on.
He claims he got hated on. Right, Mickelson has won this tournament twice, by the way.
Anyways,
and never come back.
Well, all right, fair enough.
I'd pay
for him to come back. I'd buy his plane ticket. Phil, if you're listening, please come to Connecticut, dude. I'll put you up in you can have my bedroom. It's fine.
To me,
get Jason sleeping.
Well, I'm okay with that because that means I'm rooming with Phil.
Okay.
Hey, we had a pro golfer in our house one time.
Yeah,
you did. David Hearn.
You did, David Hearn. All right, listen.
All right, to me, this is a tournament that Ricky Fowler would win. This is a tournament that he comes out and he looks like, oh, yeah, but that's right. This is the Ricky Fowler that everybody says they might.
This is the tournament where Ricky is leading after round 3 and then just doesn't show up on Sunday.
That would be called a major.
That would be called any tournament.
Nah, well,
I love
I'm
Ricky.
Not gonna argue on
all right,
it,
so listen, let's.
So
what did we have next?
Well, to recap real quick, just run yours off again.
Justin,
I'm going to Big Cat.
You going Tiger?
I'm going
Wow,
Big Cat Tiger.
Where did I miss this
Oh,
entire
Justin
discussion?
didn't talk. Justin did not.
Yeah, you
I
didn't.
did talk.
How did
You
I
sure?
miss that?
I didn't miss
discussion?
that either.
All
I
right.
mentioned the guy
Oh,
who
no, you
has
never
the
gave a
lowest
pick.
third round scoring.
Yeah, but you never
Yeah,
gave
you
an
never gave
officially
an
give a
official
pick.
pick. I
No, I
guess.
gave him
All
a pick.
right, well,
Whatever. Big
maybe I
Cat.
didn't hear. I'm obviously taking. I'm taking Rory.
We're taking Rory. Adam's taking Big Cat, and I'm taking Ricky.
All right.
All right.
Lock him in. We'll revisit this
Hey,
next week.
Brian, really quickly, we have some breaking news here.
Adam, this is not a breaking news show.
No,
I'll
but this
repeat
is
that.
this is
but
pretty
continue.
this is pretty important.
Yes.
Bryce Harper.
Jeopardy host Alex
oh my
Trebek has
goodness.
announced that he will be retiring in the year 2020.
That is literally Brian. Okay, for the listeners, Brian just facepalmed. And listen, it is like I love.
Wait a minute,
I love
2020 is
Jeopardy, but
not that
2020
far away.
2020 is a year and a half away. Break it to me in 18 months, and then we'll talk.
Or Adam, let's talk about this in discussion pre-show. We have a show a week. We did not have to waste 3 minutes on that.
That was
Breaking news.
pretty
That's
fun.
what you
Breaking
came
You
out
were
with.
talking about a legend.
All right, well, all right, no, all right,
Fine, we
listen.
could actually dedicate a segment to
No,
it. But now,
time out. I will
fine.
say
Now,
this.
now we're scrapping our best.
No, we're not.
Best
no,
action
no, we're
hero.
not. We have time. Here, for the record, though, can you believe that Pat Zajac is going to outlast?
No, this is what
Alex Trebek.
This
Do
is
you know,
the new
do you know
topic.
Alex Trebek, by the way, is 78 years
Yeah,
old?
no, he's real old. No, he is real old. He looks great for his age. He also, by the way, if you watch the show, has gotten very savage. He'll throw insults at people now who give bad answers. He's gotten pretty
Here's
rough.
the new topic. Who is the biggest, I guess, trivia or game show host? Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek. End of story. Next
No,
count.
it's got to be
Bob
Bob
Barker.
Bob Barker.
No, he forgot. Okay, if you listen, I love Bob Barker in Happy Gilmore. I love Bob Barker. But if you can have your role taken over by Drew Carey, then you're not the biggest game
Come
show host of
on,
all
that
time.
microphone was fire.
Yeah.
That thin microphone.
Drew Carey uses the same mic.
This is Bob Barker for The Price is Right. Help control the
Okay,
pet
time out,
population.
time out.
Have
Oh,
your
all right,
pets
all right.
spayed
And
and neutered.
Barker's babe.
All right, let's get back on
Beauties.
track. Thank you for the
beauties.
Thank you for the sidetrack. I appreciate it. But let's get Brian. Bring us back to the schedule real quick. We can accelerate the timeline a little.
Fine. We're going to go over, just for the listeners, a little bit over an hour today. It's our opening show, so that's what we're giving
We're
you.
working out the kinks.
A little special treat there. Next topic is something that Jason kind of came up with. We want to talk, because we love movies. All of us are movie buffs here, some bigger than others. But at the end of the day, it's something we're going to talk about often on this show. For this topic, we want to know, Jason, I want to use your words exactly, best action hero.
Yeah, best action hero from a film franchise. So I mean, these are the.
Now, does it have to be a franchise? Could it be a single movie hero?
Fine. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult to
Can I
make your
pick
argument.
Osmosis Jones?
Sure, you could pick Osmosis Jones, who, by the way, wasn't the name of the lead of that. Was not the name of the main character in that show, but
He was the hero.
He was the
No.
hero of that movie. The movie was
totally the
named
hero.
after him. The movie was called.
It was called
okay. For the
Osmosis
record,
Jones.
those of us who did see the movie saw it in Boca Raton at the Regal 18 Cinema, and the fire alarm went off mid-movie, and we had a flight to catch that evening, if you remember correctly.
Yes.
We weren't even sure we were going to make the flight in time if we stayed to finish that movie, okay? So a lot of things
What's
get
more
forgotten.
amazing is that you actually went and saw Osmosis Jones in theaters.
Justin, you and I saw the first Night at the Museum in theaters and walked out of that movie. That was
That
the
is
first,
true.
By the way,
first
just,
movie I've ever walked out
and
of.
Justin, just to counter your point, any movie that Bill Murray's in is definitely a movie theater watchable movie.
I'm not going to argue that point. All right. So, anyways, yeah, we're talking about it can be a single movie, but it's going to be tough to make your point that he's the best if it's been one movie. But okay, fine. And it could be a she. It could be anyone. But your best action film, hero or heroine, like I don't know. And Brian, I'm going to steal your lead in. I'm going to go first. Okay. So, and this is a tough one because I'm torn. But my favorite action hero has got to be Jason Bourne. The guy's, a tragic hero in many ways. He shares my name, which is the best name ever. Okay. And I mean, he's just a badass. I mean, tell me that Matt Damon as Jason Bourne couldn't walk into this room right now and kick all four of our asses in 10 seconds flat. I mean,
there's a lot of guys on this list that can.
I can't root for someone who had multiple actors playing him, though.
he didn't. Whoa, no, you're there. Jason Bourne was never played by multiple actors.
That's a good
I
point.
got
He wasn't
some-
in that movie. It was.
Are you talking about the Jeremy Renner movie? That was a
Yes.
different. His name was Alex.
It
doesn't matter.
No, he was
it
not
wasn't-
Jason Bourne.
I
wasn't
got
playing the same
somebody.
person.
I got somebody that'll whoop Jason Bourne's ass.
Well,
Go ahead.
I like your
Somebody
choice.
that's
I
going to
know-
take a whip around his neck.
No. First of all,
And
somebody
he goes by the name of
somebody who's-
Indiana Jones.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, no.
Wow, for a second I thought you were talking about that movie with what's his name who played the weatherman.
Indiana Jones survived
Yeah,
the
Nick
Nazis.
Cage. Remember the movie with on the bike where he did the
Indiana
change?
Jones was the most
Indiana
active.
Jones
He drank
survived the Ark of the Covenant.
Right. He
he-
survived
Don't
the
you remember everybody turned to fire?
Right.
And
He hates- he's
somehow
Oh, wait.
he made it out.
Wait a minute.
Indiana Jones
Okay,
is
wait a
afraid of
minute.
snakes.
He,
Indiana
he
Jones is
guessed
afraid of
he
snakes.
guessed the Holy Grail cup.
Wait a minute,
There was
Justin.
like 500 cups in that
Justin,
cave.
Justin,
and he guessed the ugliest
drank,
cup.
He drank the blood of Molaram, and he still.
He took the leap of faith.
He's afraid of snakes. If your hero is afraid of something that occurs regularly on the job, that's a pretty big
So
weakness.
what do you say about Batman? Is he
Batman
no good
is no
because he's
longer afraid of
bats?
bats. He's no longer afraid of bats. He's embraced the fear. Indiana Jones is openly afraid of snakes. Oh, it has to be snakes. And then I hate snakes. And also, the guy's father is a freaking moron. Okay, so you can't. How can you root for him when he shoots down his own plane? Okay.
He shooed the birds away with his umbrella.
Adam, who's your best
And,
action hero?
and lastly, on
It's
Indiana
funny,
Jones, if you see
I
Indiana
was
Jones,
thinking Indiana
any
Jones, too.
movie that has what's his name as a freaking Transformers boy. Who am I thinking of? In the fourth movie, in the Crystal Skull. Sheila Boof. Any movie that has Sheila Boof in it, yeah, you're not the best action
I'm
hero
talking
ever.
about the first
First
three.
First off, Holes was a good movie.
Okay, listeners, remember that Brian loves Holes. as a
Holes is
movie.
a good movie and an
Adam,
exciting
what
book.
do you got?
All right, so Indiana Jones was going to be my first pick. I
deviate
obviously
from that.
I can't. So,
Solon.
wow, you had me. I mean, there's a lot.
Hey, Mr. T.
Anybody from The Princess Bride?
Dolph Lundgren from Masters of the Universe.
I mean,
All right, do you want a second? I can
All
give
right,
you
go,
mine.
Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go,
ahead.
Brian, because Adam.
Go ahead.
To me, my most badass is the most
Oh, here
recent
we go.
guy.
This is gonna hurt.
I think the most badass action hero there is Deadpool. I think he is funny.
That is
I think
the
he's
most obscene
extreme.
thing I've heard of. First of all, not extreme, not badass, and he's also a superhero. He cannot die. Whereas any one of these other,
You did not state superheroes cannot be a part. They're
But-
still action heroes. In fact, hero is part of half of their name. Superhero.
but their feats are less impressive if they aren't risking anything. Indiana Jones puts his life on the line every time.
Yeah, but what kind of impressive are we talking about? Because to me, I'd rather watch Deadpool do some wild and crazy stuff that no human can actually do, flips and all this slow motion stuff, than see some guy whip somebody. I mean, you want to see that? There's plenty of websites I could direct you to after the show.
Okay, well, that got weird in a hurry. But here's the record, okay? For what it's worth, Deadpool's a movie that's literally not worth seeing. I wouldn't watch it with my eyes
Both
closed.
Deadpools were phenomenal.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah, I got to
terrible.
disagree with you.
Both
There.
Deadpools were phenomenal.
I mean, Deadpool's a
Ryan Reynolds is the man.
Oh, yeah, okay, well, that's fine. That's a terrible choice.
All right,
Awful
Adam,
choice.
you had time to think.
I mean,
Gordon Bombay, Mighty Ducks, end up what?
no.
No, come on, let's go.
Well-
Pick one, commit. If you have to go Indiana Jones,
All
We're
right,
already
all
over
right,
an hour.
all right, let's be honest here. In the late '80s, like there was guys like Chuck Norris, there was Schwarzenegger, there was Stallone,
Even Seagal.
but that's where
fighting
I'm
for
going.
the environment, Steven Seagal.
I'm going with Steven Seagal.
As
you
what
look at his-
character?
and you look at his movie names. Like
Oh, here we go.
Steven Seagal was Under Siege.
Okay, the
Steven
two
Seagal
Under
was
Siege movies
Hard
are
to
great.
Kill.
Okay, fine.
Steven Seagal was Out for Justice. like
Possibly gone with Bruce Willis over Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
but
easily. I mean, seriously.
yippee ki mother, you know what?
Hang on, let me ask a question because this whole topic started with a movie that's currently in theaters.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Tom Cruise as the most
Ethan
badass.
Hunt. Well, the problem is he's only 5'6". So, like, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Listen,
He's
Ethan
a
Hunt,
badass.
Ethan Hunt and Jack Reacher combined, I think, is pretty badass.
Jack Reacher, terrible, but the first movie was great.
Listen,
but
we're
no,
not
Ethan Hunt
talking
is
about
amazing.
quality of movie.
I thought someone would say Ethan Hunt. Okay.
Will you go see Top Gun 2?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Have you seen what's his name looks like? He looks terrible.
Who?
Iceman.
Val Kilmer?
Val Kilmer looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
death.
I just recently saw something. He was in that movie, The Snowman.
which was bad. That movie looked so
I gotta
good
be
by
honest,
the trailer.
what the hell was that accent? He tried to come up with some Norwegian accent.
It was so
it
bad.
Was,
Okay.
it was so bad.
snowman?
If you haven't seen, go on YouTube and Google Snowman trailer. The trailer looks great. The movie was awful, unwatchable, just a terrible movie. All right, Brian, this was fun. I liked it. We will have some,
what is that? I'm looking at Brian's
oh
computer
no,
right now.
what I can't see it. I don't want to
What
see
is
it.
this?
All right, we're not going to play the whole trailer. It's really good.
Oh, this actually looks good. I've seen this.
It looks like a good horror movie.
It's
You got hit with a snowball.
Actually, to be honest with you, it's based on novels by this guy Joe Nesbo, who's a very, very good writer, and his books are. I've actually read a few of his books.
I'm telling you, the trailer had me. I mean, as a lot of movies, I'm a movie trailer guy. As a lot of trailers get me, and then the movies are terrible.
Okay.
All right, Brian.
All right, so yeah, go see Snowman.
No, don't. It's not. I mean, you can't see it anywhere. You might be able to get it on a DVD in the Walmart $1 bin. If you find it, maybe it's worth your $1. I don't know.
All right, guys, this is where we're going to wrap it up for the week. Once again, it is a weekly podcast. This is the sports forecast, so it's time to give our weekly forecast. We're going to go around the room. Adam, I hope you're ready. I see you heavily investigating your computer. I'm going to continue to try to stall as long as I can until you get a look on your face that I feel comfortable with. But this is called Highs and Lows. We're going to end every show with the highs and lows of the week. It could be anything, sports-related, non-sports-related. The high is obviously something good. The lows are obviously something bad. Adam, where is it? Where is the weather warm?
All the firefighters and all the people were putting their lives on the line out in California to fight these wildfires. So God bless you. Thank you. Stay strong. I know there's been a couple of tragic deaths, but thank you for doing what you're doing. So that is definitely my high. These guys putting their lives out on the lines on a daily basis to fight these wildfires. So thank you. That's my high.
Where is it going to be cold? Where's the bitter chill coming in?
Why don't we do the highs first, and then I'll come back.
Round
to
about the highs. I like that, Jason.
Round about the highs.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm actually a little bit. You kind of stole from me, Adam. A little bit.
Ooh, well, you could. That's okay.
No,
Listen,
no. But so my
might
high
be 80
was,
both days.
Listen, my high is out in Northern California, also specifically the car fire. But it's not. Listen, and seriously, Adam was absolutely right. To the first responders, and I mean these guys. If you think your job's hard, just look up some of these actual U.S. Forestry Service firefighters. This is not rolling up in a truck out of the local station, putting a hose on fire. This is literally helicoptering or airdropping in behind the lines with nothing but an axe and some gear on your back. It is one of the hardest jobs out there. So thank you for doing what you're doing. But my high is actually Guy Fieri, okay? Worldwide chef, world-renowned chef, okay? He lives in California. Him and his son and about 20 volunteers packed up as soon as this fire started, drove north, set up a kitchen, and he's feeding 1,000 volunteers, firefighters, and people who've had to flee their homes a day for free on his own dime. All right? Good for him. Seriously, that's what I call putting... And he's not... Food Network's not doing a special. He hasn't been interviewed on CNN. He's literally doing this without publicity. Okay? Good for him. This is putting your talents to action. This is on the front lines. This is not selling yourself. He's literally taking what he's good at and he's using it to directly help people who need it the most. Good for him. Guy Fieri, you're my high point of the day.
Justin?
I got to be honest. I'm struggling with a high point for right now.
All right, let me jump in then. Mine's a simple one. My high point, Chili's. Their bankroll. Since this is a weekly show, I want to kind of inform the listeners that, first today we met at Chili's to do show prep, but in the future we're going to actually meet at Justin's, who lives down the street from the studio here.
Behind the scenes, wow, needed this information.
I still see because we're eating at Justin's, I still see a lot of takeout Chili's in the future. So I think Chili's is doing well because of this show. So Chili's overall bankroll is my high.
And to round it up, my high goes out to the crocodile in Thailand. I got 2 shout outs in Thailand, actually. One goes to the cave rescue. That was a while ago, but I thought that was very fascinating.
Unbelievable. Yep, here.
But today, a crocodile who nearly bit off the arm of somebody who was trying to parade it around as some sort of show and put his arm down the throat of the crocodile. So kudos to the crocodile for taking a bite and letting him know that he's not just going to sit there and take that.
For those who are wondering, back in the 90s and early 2000s, you had eco-terrorists. You had the people who'd go around and burn down ski resorts to save the lynx. Justin's our animal terrorist, okay? He'd gladly sacrifice humans to protect animals. So he loves...
Without hesitation.
He literally... That's where he's coming from here. So
somebody's got to be the voice for them.
Because, they need a voice. But yeah, no, good. That's all right. Thank you.
Harambe is looking down at Justin.
Harambe. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna. You're trying to bait me into saying things. I'm not gonna say you know what is out for Harambe. Okay.
Well, you should, because I'm still looking for a low.
Okay. Well, then you don't have a low yet.
No, I do, Jason. It was a quick segue into
I've got
lows.
A low. Oh, then give me.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit you with my low, and it's not sports related, and I wish it will. And next week I hope to find some sports topics. But my low this week, and I'm gonna rant, is Movie Pass. Are you kidding me? Now, I subscribe to AMC A-List, and if you haven't yet, and they don't sponsor this show, but they should, because subscribe right now. It's $20 a month. It's unbelievable, okay? But this is a company, Movie Pass, first to the market. On Thursday of last week, just when people were out buying their Mission Impossible tickets or seeing the last movie from the last week, because Movie Pass, you can see one movie a night, okay? They ran out of money. And I don't mean like they, ran out of money for next week or the future or whatever. They're looking for investors. They literally shut down their service. So you had already paid your $10 for that month, and you took your card to the movie theater, and you were like, here, get me a movie ticket. And the movie theater said, sorry, you can't see a movie, even though that's what you signed up for, because MoviePass ran out of money to pay us. They had to take an emergency $6 million loan that night just to get up and running for the weekend. And then over the weekend, they won't let you see Mission Impossible, which is by far the biggest movie of the weekend. This is a company that is absolutely going to be out of business within a month.
Their stock was down 60% today.
It's down 6%. So 2 weeks ago, they did a 250 for one share reverse split to get their stock price back up over $1 so that they could remain on the NASDAQ. That was 2 weeks ago. Today, their stock price dripped below $1 again after the split. They're finished. They're bleeding through cash. Nobody believes in them. It was a great idea, and I thank them because they brought about AMC A-List, which is the best one out there. But they're done. MoviePass, you are my low point. You are garbage, and you are going to be finished soon.
Adam?
You know me. I always find weird stories.
Yeah, I got a weird one, too, so I'm excited to hear yours.
All right. A Tennessee man was arrested this week after authorities allegedly found him in a McDonald's women's bathroom doing jumping jacks while naked.
Okay, how is this the low? This guy's living the dream.
I didn't think they had cameras.
Nashville police.
I don't think they have cameras.
Nashville police were called to the fast food restaurant on Monday because a man, later identified as 25-year-old Brody Tyler Young, had allegedly locked himself in the women's bathroom all day. He refused to leave despite pleas from the restaurant's management. At one point, when the bathroom door became unlocked, an officer found Young in a stall. Mr. Young was erratic and doing jumping jacks and hitting the wall, the arrest affidavit obtained by the news station reads, adding that Young smelled of chemical fumes as if he had been huffing. The 25-year-old reportedly has faced huffing charges in the past.
First of all,
surprised you didn't read that on the Huffington Post.
Only in Tennessee is huffing a crime. I mean, not that huffing drugs isn't a crime anywhere else, but the actual term huffing. But yeah, for the record, Jake Allen was in Nashville over the weekend. I thought for a minute it was going to be Jake Allen. So Jake Allen, if you're out there and you know Brody, you forgot to bring him home. But yeah, that's pretty low. Although I still think the guy wasn't feeling very low. He was probably feeling pretty high.
I wonder if he rode a Huffy bike to the
I have
McDonald's.
no idea, but do you think he got a Happy Meal at the end?
No, I don't think he did.
Well, they do feed you in prison
I don't know if it's a Happy
in
Meal.
jail. No, they'll go get you fast food when you're staying. The jailhouse doesn't have a kitchen.
All right, Justin, what's your low?
I have two lows.
Ooh.
My first low
Depressing.
is
Cold.
to the country of Egypt, who is trying to sentence people upwards of, I believe, 20 years in prison for doing the Shiggy Challenge.
The Shiggy
Wait,
Challenge?
what is the Shiggy Challenge?
You don't know what the Shiggy
Is
No.
this real?
That's the Drake.
In
challenge.
my feeling challenge.
My feelings
yeah.
challenge. It's
Okay.
called the Shiggy challenge.
It's called the
Sorry, but
Are you kidding? They're sending
this is a
people-
real news story. And if you haven't seen the video of the dog doing the In My Feelings
Awesome.
challenge,
You talking about
should
the one
watch
on the
that.
scooter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best.
I'm so.
But
done
anyways,
with the Shiggy
Egypt.
challenge.
I mean, how stupid is that? Secondly, I think my other low is over getting back to sports. Over in Houston with the Astros signing Osuna. Two things about this. Number one, you're signing. I understand you need a closing pitcher. You're signing a guy who is still currently serving a suspension. And number two, you signed a guy who was charged for beating his wife. Bad call.
I'm with
Tough
you.
sell. Tough sell there.
Real tough sell. Yeah, that is a very good low. Surprised they made the move. My low is not on sports. It's a little odd here. I'm with Adam. I'm going the odd route. There's an election, obviously, right? This is correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not election year essentially?
Oh,
Well,
every
every
year
year
is
is-
election year. So what election are we talking about? This is the upcoming year will be the midterm elections for Congress.
Yeah, Congress. That's the thing.
Well, Congress gets elected still every couple years.
So the race for Virginia's 5th congressional district.
Oh, tell me about the 5th congressional district in
I
Virginia.
will. There's two
And
candidates.
time out before you read it, and you can give me a low and it's fair. Had you ever heard of the 5th congressional?
No, I've never heard of these two people's
before
names.
tonight. Okay.
In fact, I've never even heard of what this guy is a part of. I've never
Okay.
even heard this is a thing. So that's why it's my
All
low.
right. All right.
So the
So,
Democratic candidate is Leslie Cockburn. The Republican.
That is not how you say that name, but that's fine.
How do you say it?
Sound good to me.
I'm sure it's pronounced
Say it.
differently in Virginia.
Cockburn?
It's Cockburn. You tell me how else to say that.
It's a great last name, Cockburn. The only thing better would be burning cock.
No, but seriously, give me another rendition of what that last name would sound
Listen,
like.
I don't know. I was hoping for his sake that there's another way to pronounce it.
No, I don't see another way.
All right, let's.
First off, Leslie might be a girl too.
you just said his name.
No, I didn't. I said, I
Go
might have
roll
said
back the tape. You said his name.
All right, if I said his name, it was a mistake.
so
'cause
you
I
don't even know if this is a man or
I
a
don't know
woman.
if it's a man or a woman. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's not the worst name. Here's the worst
Was
name.
there ever a Richard Cockburn?
Well, listen. So we have Leslie Cockburn. We have
By the way, this show's so mature. Next.
we have Leslie Cockburn going up against Republican candidate Denver Riggleman. Denver
Is he a
Riggleman.
long lost cousin of Rob Riggle?
I don't know, but who names a kid Denver? Anyways, my low should be both of these people's names. But my low is Mr. or Miss Cockburn came out on Twitter, and I guess the Republican candidate, Denver Riggleman, is a devotee of Bigfoot erotica.
What?
He posted a picture on Instagram of a Bigfoot with some abs and a piece hanging below his legs.
But it's censored, so there's no way that
It was not censored originally because his quote on the thing, it says cover art for mating habitats of Bigfoot. That's a hashtag. Almost complete. I hide nothing in this magnificent time. Don't erase the censor box.
Okay.
This guy apparently is into Bigfoot erotica, naked.
All right, listen.
Bigfoot
Harry
photos.
Potter erotica is one thing, but Bigfoot erotica is a little out there. But that's your low point?
I've never ever. Yeah, that's my low point.
what's-
If you ever get to your life, Jason, where you're looking at naked photos of a sketch of a thing that doesn't even exist,
What's
Hey, whoa. Who says it
Fine.
doesn't exist? And let me tell you
even if
another thing.
Bigfoot does exist,
What's-
who's putting abs on him and putting?
what's worse, Bigfoot erotica or cartoon erotica?
Well,
I think
cartoon
Bigfoot
erotica is a
erotica.
huge category. and it's,
cartoon erotica. Here's the
erotica is
argument to that.
massive.
At least they all have personalities. Okay, I mean Bigfoot is technically an animal, so really it's bestiality.
Well,
Yeah.
that's,
At least cartoon, they're humans. They've been humanized. They have a character, an attitude. That's me. That's
You mean you don't get turned on by Harry from Harry and the Hendersons?
no, and Lois Griffin doesn't turn me on either.
What
But
the- okay.
Now you're good. Now you're taking it too far.
Now we've-
I
now
said she
we've
doesn't
created-
turn me on.
That's what I'm saying.
Now
Now
you're
you're
taking
taking
it
it
too
too
far.
far.
Should I be turned on by her?
No, Brian.
Yes.
Brian.
I mean,
Brian Griffin.
Adam's first crush was Daphne and Scooby Doo. Let's be
Daphne
serious.
was hot, dude.
Oh boy.
Daphne was hot. Which
And
one of you?
Velma.
Which one of you would be
Velma.
the best? Jason's the
Of
Velma.
course it's Velma. Velma with those
First
glasses.
of all,
Oh,
Jessica
yeah.
Rabbit.
Oh, Jessica Rabbit.
No, ew.
We have.
What about- what about-
smoking hot
what-
cartoon?
We have
Guys,
gone so
Jessica
downhill.
Rabbit.
May I remind you that
Here's-
Ariel swam around in a seashell bra?
Guys,
Definitely area.
I changed my low point. My new low point
It's
is
the
this
end of
show.
this show.
The end of this show. We are now talking about our
Might I
hottest
remind you who led into that segment?
Bigfoot erotica led into that segment.
Yeah, Cockburn led into that. argument.
Cockburn!
All right.
Mr. and Mrs. Leslie Cockburn!
Hey, listen. So we got some kinks to work out, but overall, this was not bad.
Got some burns to work out.
Okay, all right.
No, we're still on.
No, we are still going live to our listeners, listening to them some other day. So not live at all, but yeah. No, this has been fun. We can improve on this.
By
We
the
might
way,
be able
I
to
have
do well.
breaking news again. LeBron James signed with the Lakers.
And slow clap for Adam.
Well, how about Jason, who kept arguing the whole time after LeBron signed with the Lakers that LeBron
No.
was not a Laker?
Okay, this is not the way to end the show, but for the record, had he signed with the Lakers? No, he had not.
Jason,
Okay.
it was all but a done deal. Just like the end of the show is all but a
Nice,
done deal.
nice.
Guys, thank
Justin,
you.
say goodnight.
Good night.
Jason, say goodnight. Since you're leading this, might as well.
All right, I'm sorry, Brian. I didn't mean to steal your show. Thanks for listening.
do it.
We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, we forgot the segment Wisdom with Stink.
Hit us. Hit us. We're already over. Go. Wisdom with stink.
Come on.
And go.
If you find the key, it could bring you to Eternia.
All right.
Guys, thank you for tuning in to the Sports Forecast. Once again, weekly, this will be a podcast coming to your radio waves on Facebook, on YouTube, potentially even on a web page near you. We want to thank you for tuning in. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything you want to share, by all means, we welcome the criticism. We welcome the encouragement. We welcome the questions. We welcome everything. So thank you for tuning in. For the rest of the Gorelnik brothers, I'm Brian saying thanks, guys. It's the Sports Forecast. And hope the rest of your week is sunny.